Alright, welcome back to map number 2 between miou and Paladyn. The players are keeping their colors here. miou still in brown, this time on the left hand side of Echo Isles. For him it is again Ultra first, thus far the same build for him. Whereas Paladyn, who is again spawning in purple, this time on the right hand side of Echo Isles. He is switching up his build order. We're not going to see a Demon Hunter first here by him. Instead we see the Ancient of War first, and therefore we're going to see a Tavern Hero. And on Echo Isles in Night Elf against Human there are always plenty of possible Tavern Hero choices. Most likely the Dark Ranger, perhaps the Beastmaster, perhaps the Panda, perhaps something completely crazy. We don't know yet, and we're going to find out eventually. Moonwell second added already. We're gonna see second Moonwell and the Altar as his next buildings. miou in the meantime is gonna add his second farm here once again. So as previously stated, he's gonna go for the exact same build, and I mean, yeah, he got outplayed quite clearly on Turtle Rock, but I don't think he's going to end up changing up his entire build just due to that. Scout Militia is heading out of the base. Ultra is coming. Second Moonwell is going to be built by this. Yeah, going to be built by this guy as usual. Scout heading towards the middle right now as well. First archers should be spawning soon-ish. And the Militia of miou is soon going to find out what he's gonna face here. Second farm, or third farm, excuse me. Barracks finishing. First footman coming just now. And the AM is going to spawn, so I'm curious what we're gonna see here by the German. If he's gonna go for the instant expansion here, if he's gonna go ahead and creep the small one first, if he's gonna go ahead and creep the mercenary camp first. It looks like it's going to be the small one with 4 militia here. So investing quite a bit here. Scout farm is coming inside the opponent's main base upon realizing that this is going to be a late hero. And speaking of that late hero, it is the Dark Ranger, the most common Tavern hero here on Echo Isles in this matchup. 3 archers are out. Paladyn starts creeping here. Wow, taking a lot of damage on that archer. Even gonna lose it as it appears. Quite a blunder there by the Night Elf player. But alright, miou has finished the creep camp up here. He's gonna go ahead and continue creeping. He is staying at 3. Okay, he's got the scout farm up here, of course. So he's got 4 farms already. He's continuing to produce peasants, not for the time being. And he's putting the militia right now, though. So it looks like he's gonna go ahead and creep the expansion. Perhaps even the mercenary camp first. He's again getting quite the quite quick defense upgrade. And it looks like it's going to be the expansion. He's not going to creep the mercenary camp here. So it's going to be not quite up on level 3 after that. Whereas, alright, Paladyn could have crept to level 3, but it looks like he's not going to go ahead and creep his expansion immediately here. Instead, he's going to go ahead and get aggressive. Still tier 1, at least for the moment. He does have the resources to take if he wants to. Doesn't do so just now, though. And miou, as I said, is not going to get level 3 here. And the Dark Ranger is there, almost the same experience as the AM. And the AM did not see it just yet, apparently, as he's going down here to continue creeping immediately to get that level 3. And the Dark Ranger, did he not expect miou to leave his base, to leave his expansion here immediately? Perhaps some reverse mind games going on. But now he's coming in with the Dark Ranger, he's coming in with 3 archers, and the AM with his footman has to turn around immediately. The first tower is going to be cancelled. Yeah, pretty sure of that. The first of the footmen, the first of the peasants, excuse me, is going to fall here. But the AM does actually get the deny, so no skeleton for Zeus here, for Paladyn, excuse me. But now he's gonna get it. 3 peasants left standing for the moment. First archer is finally falling as well. Shadow Meld used here. miou again doesn't have the dust just yet. The Dark Ranger even continues doing some creeping. It looks like she wants to get some more skeletons on the field. She's gonna get another one here. Looks like, let's see who's gonna get the Nightcrawler. miou does, and he's getting the Tome of Intelligence as well. For the time being, this expansion is extremely safe to 2 archers, and the Berserker are falling back for the moment. Defense should be finished by now. miou has not made use of it just yet, which is a bit surprising. Now he's finally doing so. as the main damage output of his opponent is piercing damage. The next skeleton gets killed. The Dark Ranger should not be overcommitting here against this footman. Instead, yeah, doing the right thing here, just going for the next kill on one of these peasants. Did not get a skeleton out of that one, if I saw it correctly. And now the Dark Ranger, yeah, repositioning again, but the damage output is quite low here currently for Paladyn, and he doesn't get a good angle around these peasants. So miou has not really taken all too much damage here. The AM is way over level 3 in the meantime, whereas the Dark Ranger not quite there yet. The next footman is going to fall here because miou did not use defend in time, but at the same time the AM with the Gloves of Haste and the Circlet is quite the damage dealer, and this Dark Ranger is gonna have to get going, but she's going to be able to do so since miou doesn't have Boots of Speed here again. And it looks like, yeah, Paladyn previously trapped one of his archers and he had to uproot his Ancient of War, and it looks like he never reset his rally point, but in the meantime he did get a Tree of Life finished already. Tier 2 is coming as well, and the Hunter's Hall going to finish, yeah, quite perfectly in time for or alongside the tier 2 of Paladyn, but at the same time miou is getting tier 2 as well, so his tech is yeah, getting, or is going to get done somewhat quickly. He's gonna get aggressive with his AM right now, and let's see if Paladyn is going to be able to deal the proper damage in return. The towers are not quite finished yet. This is extremely painful for miou. If they were a little bit further along, I think he'd be extremely safe, but yeah, now he even has to TP. He has killed the Ancient of War. Just want to in a second check if he saw the expansion. I imagine he did, and then he TP'd upon realizing that he was too late to cancel it. But the Forest Troll Shadow Priest of Paladyn has already fallen. The first Archer has already fallen. The first two footmen are very low here. One is falling. The second one is probably going to fall in a second as well. miou has to build new towers here, as both of his towers, which were so close to finishing, have been killed. The next footman is going to get killed here in just a second. Yes, it is. But is this... This is still level 1 Searing Arrow. Yes, he did not skill yet. Now he's skilled, just as I said it. Next Archer that did get killed, and Paladyn did give up quite a bit of damage output here, both by not having the level 2 Dark Arrow, as well as not having the level 2 Skeletons. That's a bit of a surprise. The Naga is being bought here, so it looks like Paladyn is really going to rely on applying a lot of pressure here. In the late game, it could backfire on him though, as the Naga and Dark Ranger combination isn't really, or is often not adding all too much to a late game army. I mean, compare it to high level Demon Hunter and Panda, and you clearly notice the difference. So he needs to make something happen here, or perhaps it's just to get that expansion, you know, into play safely and quickly, since the Naga has usually a much larger impact immediately on level 1 compared to the Panda, and miou is for the time being looking pretty fine here. He's continuing to creep. His AM is about to get over level 4.5 already. Tier 2 is finished. He's getting the blacksmith just now. Doesn't really have a lot of gold saved up yet, so it's not like his big army is going to arrive all too soon here. Then again, Paladyn really has nothing at the moment. He has lost his entire range army pretty much. Bought a new Forest Troll Berserker. And his lore army isn't even close to being on the field yet. And the Naga might get killed here even. Yeah, the AM needs like one more hit. He is dealing quite a lot of damage with the Boots of Speed. He's also easily able to chase stuff. So another little setback there for the Night Elf player. He's trying to get this around there with the footman, but Dark Ranger is falling back, and that's gonna give miou the chance to deal some damage to this Berserker, and he's definitely going to fall as well. So miou is really getting further and further ahead. The AM is soon to be level 5, and this is going to be so difficult to deal with, even with the Dryad, since he's going to need so many dispels just to get rid of a single water elemental, and he doesn't have the Brilliance Aura, of course, so he's not going to be able to sustain the dispel for all too long. By the way, let's take a look into the main base of Paladyn. Naga is coming back, the lords have finished, tier 3 is soon to finish as well. miou in the meantime with 700 gold. Did he start his tier 2 buildings yet? Is he even going for a big tier 2 push? There's the shop, there are 2 arcane sanctums as far out of the base as he can possibly get them, and the MK second as well, and level 5 has been reached by the AM in the meantime. He's going for the Ogre Mauler right now, but yeah, is he even gonna get it? He's chasing after him. The Wisp is coming, but that's not gonna hurt this Water Metal or the AM all too much. The Mountain King is out right now. It looks like he's even gonna get it, as with the rest of his army, he's keeping the Dark Ranger and the Naga busy down here, defending the expansion. At least the Entangled Goldmine is up, so both of the players do have an expansion in play right now. And yeah, there the Ogre Model is falling. And at least for the time being, Paladyn does have a bit of a tech lead. He's got his lores finished, and he's gonna have Dryads and Bears on the field. So at least for the next 2 minutes, maybe, he's gonna have a pretty easy time fighting and, you know, maintaining map control. But what can he do with it? Both the contested camps are already gone. Well, the first one is, and the second one is about to be in just a second. So he's not gonna be able to take those. He's not going to be able to get anywhere close to even equality in terms of hero levels, which is not at all what you want as a Night Elf. Usually you always want to have an XP lead due to the map control in the mid game, but you know, he basically never had it. He just got it now, maybe for, as I said, a couple of seconds, perhaps like 2 minutes at most. But miou is already starting to build some castles, and he's breaking extremely quickly. He doesn't want to give his opponent any time to build up a tier 3 army. He doesn't want to have him, you know, have the map control even for a brief period of time, just to get a couple of scrolls and to perhaps somehow gather an army big enough to eventually hold this expansion against the big push. Paladyn is going towards the bottom Goblin Merchant here anyways, and he's gonna get at least a few items here. 47 supply for him against 59 already for miou. 5 AM. Mountain King is going to be level 2 here after this creep camp. 3 ivory towers already in his inventory. Boots of speed. A small heal potion, a big heal potion. Couple of Sorks out already. The first mortar team did just spawn. He's getting the first priests as well. And it looks like Paladyn is trying to go for some aggression here. He's gonna, yeah, catch these first 2 priests. Maybe he's gonna get 1. Yeah, he's probably gonna get 1. And it looks like he wants to get some action right now before miou is getting too large of an army. But perhaps it's already too late. He's at 70 supply almost against only 50 of Paladyn, who in small numbers can trade quite well with bears, with dryads, against, you know, mortar teams and casters, which is, as I said, in small numbers are pretty fragile. But yeah, I guess he just realized how big of a disadvantage he's already in, and you know, wasting a TP here didn't really help him out all too much as well. Well, he killed like, what, 2 units in return. As I said, not all too impressive. miou with a huge number of mortar teams, or I imagine he's gonna have a huge number of mortar teams here quite soon, as he's built 2 workshops. Unlike most of the times where the human is going to just stay at 1 workshop, get priests, sorks and breakers, and like a few mortar teams, perhaps like 4 or 5 mortar teams at most. So perhaps there is a tiny chance for Paladyn here if miou somehow misinvests and gets a lot of mortar teams and ends up losing his front because he doesn't have too much of it. But that's really a stretch. 3 rings of protection, by the way, on the side of the Night Elf, so item luck also not entirely on his side. miou with a total of still 3 ivory towers. He passed 1 to the AM. He does have 2 heal scrolls here. In the meantime, plus 15 on this AM. TP. Still the small and the big heal potion, and almost 80 supply. Mortar teams without upgrades, footmen without upgrades. Initiate on both of his caster types, so not really any upgrades, but the sheer army size is going to be the problem here for Paladyn. And what's the plan here for him? It looks like he doesn't want to fight. Perhaps, yeah, let me just quickly check. Yeah, only 2 towers here. Perhaps he could try to do some base trading. 1 bear gets caught here, gets killed. Doesn't make things any easier for Paladyn. But he's staying around the human army. Looks like he just wants to do some hit and run. But against slow and the level 3 Mountain King, that's definitely easier said than done. Especially as these mortar teams don't really care all too much about these hit and run attempts. And they just sit here and take down the Tree of Life, who's already forced to uproot. And there's no way in hell that this one is going to stay alive. He's taking less damage by the mortar teams right now, but a lot more by everything else, basically, as he was down to heavy armor, and now he's down entirely. Pit Lord third again has been bought by Paladyn, who's coming in with the Rain of Fire. He's got a decent number of bears, 5 to be precise. The IEM has to reposition. There is, yes, very little of a front for miou, but maybe it's still going to be enough thanks to slow, thanks to clap, which is level 2 clap, okay. So these bears really slowed by a large margin, and the first one has already fallen. 2 more are about to fall. Looks like Paladyn also never got a staff of preservation here. But as this Tree of Life is down, as he's down by 50 supplies still in army size, it looks like this is not going to be enough for him to come back into this game. The bear is morphing here, he's casting Rejuvenation onto the Dark Ranger, is paying with his life for it. The Rejuvenation has been stolen quite quickly here away onto one of the Zorgs. Bolt goes on the Dark Ranger, level 4 MK, level 6 IEM, and there's really nothing left standing for Paladyn at this point except for 1 Dryad and the 2 heroes, no GG, just go Secret Valley, which I guess is fine as well. And miou ties the series, so despite being out, he is at least, yeah, played definitely better. Perhaps without pressure, miou can, you know, improve his performance here, and he definitely did compared to the first map. Paladyn, with the early pressure with the Dark Ranger, he didn't creep his expansion early, he didn't creep level 3 early, instead he decided to go across the map. He killed a little bit of stuff, but miou still ended up with a big XP advantage, and with the second wave, basically, when he first bought the Naga, when he had a bunch of archers, a bunch of trolls, he really ended up trading horribly. The IEM was able to kill so many units, and Paladyn really had nothing left to stop miou from just harassing him like a madman. I mean, he killed so many of these mercenaries afterwards, he killed the Naga afterwards, and he had an IEM above level 5 in the end. And Paladyn still only had a level 3 Dark Ranger, and he didn't really kill all too much. And miou just delayed him way too much, dealt way too much damage, ended up getting way too big of an army for Paladyn to deal with, which of course is, you know, exactly why you play the Dark Ranger and Naga, because you want to end up getting in a good position early on and basically maintain your advantage from there. Paladyn ended up not getting any of that, and for him, there's a lot on the line right now on the third map, which, as he said previously, is going to be Secret Valley.